Start game now. Welcome, retro fans, to another edition of the No Swear Gamer. Today I'm joined by AT Commander, who is sporting a nice new scarf made by the lovely Mrs. No Swear, because AT Commander is looking for a new job, and he's thinking about becoming a firefighter, as in firefighter for your Atari VCS 2600 system. That's right, today we're going to look at Imagic's Firefighter. I really like the label art. I really dig the box and label art of Imagic games. I like the kind of the dark backgrounds and the colors that just pop at you. I think this is my favorite picture of a fire engine of all time. I even like the cheesy special effects with the flames that they throw in there. But let's go ahead and throw this game into our Atari system and find out if Firefighter is a fight worth fighting for. Let's go to the game. Firefighter is from 1982, and guess what? In the game, you're a firefighter. What do you know? And your job is to rescue a warehouse worker from a burning warehouse, and that's pretty much the game. You don't really get a point total score. Your score is basically a time score, so your goal is to do it in as little time as possible. Now in Firefighter, you're already on the scene in your red fire truck, number 5 of course, and your job of course is to either put out the flames or rescue the guy first, either or. You have some things at your disposal. The first thing you can do is you can hop off your truck by pushing left on the joystick. If you do that, you can go underneath the windows of the burning building, and by pushing up on the joystick, you will slowly have a stream of water going up. It looks like it's coming out of your back, like it's a backpack thing, kind of like Sunshine Mario. But anyways, the water shoots up, and as you push up, the water flow goes up towards the top, and when you let go, it slowly goes down. It will not stay in one place by itself, so you kind of have to finagle with the joystick to get it right where you want. You do have a limited supply of water. You can see a little blue kind of block to the left hand side of your timer, and that is how much water you have left to use. Now, outside of that, you can also operate your fire truck ladder. When you are off the truck, if you hold down the fire button, you can push either right or left to angle the ladder to which floor you want to go to. And it's a little bit of a guessing game as to which floor it's going to go to, unless you're going all the way to the top or to the bottom. You cannot go to the roof of the building. And once you have your angle that you desire while you're holding down the fire button, you can push up to make the ladder extend to the building itself, or down to make it come back, because once it's up at all, you cannot move it to left or right, so you have to retract it if you want to move it again. Once the ladder is in the position you want it to be, move your firefighter all the way to the right and then push up on the joystick to make him climb to the edge of the building. If the dude you're trying to rescue walks over to him while he's touching the building, he will be officially rescued, and you'll hear a little ditty of "For he's a jolly good fellow." And that is the game. Voila, that's Firefighter in a nutshell. The control does take quite a bit of getting used to. There is a little bit of learning curve. There's many times where I didn't mean to jump on the fire truck or off, but I did when I was trying to move the ladder, or I'm trying to move the guy, but instead, I'm going to the wrong way. So there was a little bit of a learning curve, especially when the guy's on the ladder. I had difficulty sometimes getting him up there, but that's just because it's not very intuitive. It just takes a little while to get used to. There's 9 different game variations in Firefighter for your Atari 2600. The first 8 are just basically various sizes of buildings, starting with the tallest and slowly going down into floors. So the first version, I believe, has 9 floors. The number 8 version, I think, has something like 3 floors, and that's about that. The only real good version of the game, I think, is the final option, option 9. That's where you start with 3 floors, and slowly, once you complete one level, you add another floor and you repeat again. Otherwise, the game's going to be really short because it's only going to be one building. So you're going to want to do game variation number 9, where you kind of go up to do all the different types of buildings. And you also have one water supply to last all the buildings, so there's a bit of challenge in that as well. However, the challenge in this game is not as great as you think, because in Firefighter for your Atari 2600, there is no way you can lose. I guess that whoever was making the game, Imagic, didn't want to have the option of the guy actually burning up and dying. So basically what happens is as the fire grows, the guy slowly goes towards the top to the roof of the building. He will basically stay one floor ahead of the fire. So if the fire's on the 7th floor, he will go to the 8th floor. And if it gets all the way to the top, he will go all the way to the top as well until the fire will die down by itself. That's right, the fire will eventually put itself out and he will just go back in the building waiting for you to rescue him. So it takes a little bit of the challenge out of the game, because no matter what, you cannot screw up Firefighter. He is not going to die. It's probably a good thing family friendly wise, but as far as the game goes, it really takes the challenge out of it, knowing that there's no way you can lose. You know, it's just against you and the timer, and unless you are really into playing for the best time, you're not going to get much enjoyment out of just catching the guy over and over again. Graphically speaking, the game's not too great. The fire engine looks good. Actually, I'd say it's the best fire engine on the 2600 system, but your firefighter looks like a yellow marionette who runs around kind of funny and is suffering from a very bad case of jaundice. And the guy you're rescuing, he kind of looks like a Muppet, wagging his arms up in the air. Help, save me, piggy! So yeah, it was kind of silly there. The flames, they're okay. The building is blocky, and that's about that. The graphics aren't that great. Sound and music wise, again, the sound does its purpose, I suppose, when it comes to the fire crackling sound. It does give you a little bit of an audio hint. If you hear the fire crackling sound, even though you don't see the fire, that means somewhere you didn't put the fire completely out and it will grow again. If you completely put the fire out, it won't come back, but if you leave a little bit smoldering, you may not see it, but you might hear it. So it does do its job. But other than that, yeah, nothing too great. It is a family-friendly game. Of course, as I said before, there is no way that the building's going to get destroyed or the guy's going to die in the fire. So even the stick figure will live to see another day. Perfectly family-friendly. And on eBay, it's a fairly cheap game to get. It costs about $4 loose to get a copy shipped to you, and that's about as cheap as you get for Atari games, because after the fees and the shipping expenses, the seller's only going to make about $1 on that. I did see some complete copies going for anywhere between $8 and $13, and I saw a new copy going for about $40. An interesting fact was Imagic released some posters of their great box art that could be bought, I believe, through their club or through maybe order forms in the games, not quite sure. But a really beat up poster of the firefighter art went for $80, and that poster was pretty beat up, but I must admit, I really dig the box art of this game. So overall, would I recommend it? You know what? No. Unless you are a hardcore Atari collector, I would not recommend it. Only for the box art or the label art, that's about it. But really, this game is just plain boring. It takes a while to get used to, and once you get used to it, it's not that much fun. There is no challenge in it. The only challenge is overcoming the clunky controls. However, I did find some ways to make it fun, and you can do this too. Make up your own game variation. The first one I made up was Super Soaker. That's where you wait for the fire to die down, and you use up all your leftover water to play a game of water tag with the warehouse worker inside. Try it, it's fun. Or you could play Fake Out. That's where you go up to rescue a guy, and at the last second you pull away, laughing maniacally, going, I'm here to save you. Haha, no I'm not. Got you, didn't I? Okay, really, I'm here to save you. Come on. Oh, I got you again. You fell for it again. All right, come on. No, I'm just kidding. And the last game is the Extreme Union Worker Firefighter Edition, where he says to the guy saying, hey, save me. Sorry, can't do that. I'm union. I have to have my coffee break right now. I'll see you in about 5 minutes. So yeah, those variations might add a little bit of humor and enjoyment to the game, but in truth, this game belongs low on my list. So where am I going to rank it? Well, looking at my games, I could look straight at the bottom at Tax Avoiders, but you know what? Tax Avoiders does bad like it's a great art form. It's going to take a special game to dethrone Tax Avoiders as the worst game of all time, so I'm going to put it right ahead of Tax Avoiders at the number 7 spot. Stay away from this one, but label art's pretty good. So that's about it, guys. Oh, I also wanted to tell you this. Be sure to check out the Atari 2600 Game by Game podcast with my buddy Ferg. He's going to do this in his latest episode, and you will want to check that out. So look up the Firefighter episode on iTunes. I'm sure it's going to be a real good one. I can't wait to hear it myself. He is part of the Retro Junkies Network, so am I. You can go to a link below to go to the Retro Junkies page, or search for the Retro Junkies on iTunes and Facebook and other media as well. They're a pretty good group. So don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. If you enjoy videos like this, please please click the like and subscribe buttons. It means a lot to me. And thank you again for giving me a little part of your day. And I look forward to seeing you next time right here on the No Swear Gamer. Take care, everybody, and don't play with matches. They're not toys.